Good morning. This is Land on the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you begin your day.
Sioux Falls police are investigating a car versus pedestrian crash in downtown Sioux Falls. It happened around 7:30 last night near A Street and North Sharapa Place.
Our news crew on the scene did note a heavy police presence to help block the area. Stay with us on air and online for updates as they become available. Pounds of meth and a handgun were found during a drug bust on the Yankton Sioux reservation over the weekend. Yankton Sioux Tribal Police say they helped the Bureau of Indian Affairs and South Dakota Highway Patrol with a seizure on Saturday.
Authorities say around 2 pounds of meth was found. Yankton Sioux Tribal Police posted these pictures of the seizure to Facebook. Officials say the meth was going to Fort Randall Casino and Hotel. Police in Clark say a teenage boy has been arrested in connection to recent burglaries. Officials say he was arrested at 8:30 last night. Authorities say the suspect was able to get into Hooker's Bait and Tackle and Big C Travel Plaza early Monday morning.
He tried to get into other businesses but was unsuccessful. The teenage boy is charged with burglary, theft, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. Clark police say more charges are pending. Police in Canton are asking for the public's help in solving a theft case. The department posted these pictures of the suspect to Facebook. Authorities say the suspect was wearing gloves and a mask during the theft.
The suspect left on what's described as a tan and yellow BMX bike. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Canton Police Department. A Sioux Falls woman is in the Minnehaha County Jail accused of drunk driving to get a breathalyzer test. Authorities arrested 35-year-old Rebecca Hinker on Friday. According to a prosecutor, she blew a .3, which is nearly 4 times the legal limit.
She was taking part in the 24/7 program, which is supposed to hold people accountable after being convicted of alcohol-related crimes. It's her 4th DUI arrest since February of last year, and according to court records, it's her 6th since 2014. Monday, the judge set bond at $7,500 cash, calling her a danger to the community. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says 5 businesses in the county failed an underage alcohol compliance check. Authorities say the checks happened Saturday night in Beersford, Canton, Harrisburg, Sioux Falls, and Worthing.
14 total businesses were checked. The ones that failed are Boondocks in Worthing, Big J's Roadhouse, Fresh Horses Saloon, and Dollar Fresh in Harrisburg, and Roadway Travel Center in Sioux Falls.
Now let's get a check on our forecast with meteorologist Scott Mont. Good morning, Scott.
Well, good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody. We are looking at a warmer day today, though the winds will be strong from the south. To cover eastern Kettleland, wind gusts near 40 miles per hour or more. We'll go with a high of 40 today in Sioux Falls and Mitchell, 45 in Yankton, 34 in Aberdeen. Pay attention to those roads this morning in eastern South Dakota and western Minnesota. As the winds do pick up, areas of blowing snow will give you some slick conditions. But 60 and 50-degree weather will be found in western and central South Dakota today. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. A home explosion on Lake Madison is a good reminder for homeowners to check their gas meters. Here's a look at the moment the home exploded.
Emergency crews across Lake County responded to the call Saturday night. The Madison Fire Department says this is the 2nd home explosion in the past month that is linked to a snow-covered gas meter.
And what you want to do is get out and clear out an area around your gas meter so that A, it's not covered by snow, and B, it has the ability to breathe and regulate the gas that is going into the house.
Tom Glanzer with Northwestern Energy says the company is seeing a lot of snow-covered meters right now. He says you can carefully brush the snow off the meter by hand. From locals to visitors from across the country, Terry Peak has hosted skiers and snowboarders from all over.
With more than 180 inches of snow this season, the ski resort has been able to keep their slopes up and running. Terry Peak was able to open early this year and hopes to stay open for the next few weeks.
The next couple weeks we'll have our spring break crowd. This is probably the strongest week for our spring break crowd, but we have a lot of people up here enjoying the sunshine, the blue skies, and the snow.
There's currently no official closing date for Terry Peak. You can stay updated with links we provided at KELLOLAND.com. It's a big week for college basketball as March Madness tips off on Thursday. Nebraska's Creighton University ranked in the top 25 earlier this year, now hoping to make some noise in the NCAA tournament.
If they do, South Dakota native and now assistant coach for Creighton, Ryan Miller, will play a key role. Miller loves Creighton basketball for a lot of reasons.
Oh, it's been an unbelievable experience. A community that loves basketball, been closer to home. Parents and brother and sister still live in Sioux Falls, and get a chance to coach my nephew.
His nephew is Mason Miller, the son of former NBA sharpshooter and South Dakota native Mike Miller. We'll have more with Mason today. As a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, today's weather. Well, we're developing some wind issues there on Futurecast, and that south wind will be every bit of 20 to 40 today in Sioux Falls. But it will warm up. I still expect highs will at least get into the upper 30s to near 40 around the Sioux Falls area. To the north, it's not quite as warm, and there's just more recent snow cover to be blown around. So just remember on these roads, especially your open rural highways, blowing snow is becoming more of an issue as we go through time this morning into the afternoon. Now, southwest South Dakota, 50 and 60 degree weather pops up. That means spring is showing up, or at least spring-like weather for a day or two. And tomorrow, more of that. In fact, I think there's a good chance of 50s not far from Sioux Falls. And we're going to take the liberty to say Sioux Falls could hit 50 tomorrow. Warmest temperature for 2023. That's a pretty big deal. Now, it's a day of that. It's not going to last. The numbers already falling or slipping in the afternoon in the north central. And then everybody's going to see that cold front coming into the forecast Thursday. That could start with some rain or snow in the morning in the south central and the southeast. We're kind of looking at this system from the perspective that we basically have two pieces trying to gel together. One flank of this storm system is to our north. The other flank is to the south. The two of those are actually kind of canceling, or they're not working in tandem very well. And so that may end up reducing some of the snow potential in terms of heavy, widespread snow. But we're likely to still see a lot of wind with this, and even a light to moderate amount of snow can still be problematic on roads on Thursday. So I encourage you to stay up on the forecast. We'll continue to update the numbers and what that's all looking like. I imagine we could easily get into some sort of an advisory for blowing snow, even if we come in on the low end of expectations. You can see the low coming up out of Kansas Thursday morning and lands there somewhere in central Iowa. Again, the uncertainties are still plenty, and certainly we don't have a big number to show you when we look at our probability maps on this storm. The numbers are still quite low on even the 3-inch threshold for Sioux Falls. So that's also, I think, a pretty big story. Let me show you that number there. See that? Comes in only, what, 5, 10, 15% levels. That's somewhat encouraging. Many of us are tired of digging out from a lot of big snowstorms, but my best advice to you is still watch the weather on Thursday. After we get through that window of time, whatever's left over Friday morning, basically wind is your story, and it's going to be a lot colder into the weekend. Teens for highs on Saturday. That says a lot. And even these sub-zero lows are back on the table for Aberdeen by Sunday morning. So we got to get through this cycle of cold. And then the hope is next week we can kind of turn things around and get back a little closer to normal by days 7, maybe probably day 8. So just outside the window of the 7-day forecast. Remember, more details, a lot more information online at KELOLAND.com.